You're live. Oh, no, you're not.
The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here for the first Friday in August. I hope you're enjoying your summer. So let's go ahead and get started. It's Joey Fry in the life markets. I do life, disability, and long-term care. Today's topics, we're going to be talking about Index Universal Life, the power of indexing, and URL's IUL marketing strategies and program. So the quote of the day is, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." It was from good old Benjamin Franklin. All right, now we'll get to the PowerPoint here, and we're going to do the powerful uses of indexed universal life insurance. We'll show you how to save on taxes, dramatically increase income for retirement, and also reduce market risk. So the big five of IUL, it gives you the options to leave a legacy for your heirs, gives you the power of indexing, tax-free retirement funds, gives you access to funds with no market value adjustment, and also additional funds for medical costs of aging, so like living benefits on specific IUL products. Key uses of IUL with this program that we use for today's savers. It's a good 401k alternative. For the high net worth and high income savers, it's a good general savings alternative. And for the baby boomers, you can do IRA conversions. Strategies for using an IUL. Again, it's a good 401k alternative. You can really tailor these IULs to your needs. If there's specific premium that you're looking for, specific death benefit that you want, we can really fine-tune it to how you want it. And you can pay your taxes now so you don't have to later. Since the premiums are going in tax-free, it gives you access to that cash value at a tax-free basis as well. And then you can use the power of indexing to minimize the market risk. And that takes us into the next slide here, the power of indexing. And right here you can see is this chart shows how the S&P 500 has performed from the year 2000 all the way to last year, 2018. This example here is assuming that you're using a product, an IUL product that has an 11.5% cap and a 0% floor. So that red line there is if you were using the S&P 500, if you had money in an IRA, your money would have performed at 4.86%. Now, with an IUL that had a 0 floor and 11.5% cap, it would have performed at 6.02%. So right there, it shows you that the IUL, you can't have those down years since you have that floor. In the worst decade in S&P 500, so from the years 2000 to 2009, S&P 500 performed at -1%. If you had that same money in an IUL, it would have performed at 4.8%. So if you had $1 million in 401k, you would have lost $10,000, the S&P 500. If you had $1 million of cash in an IUL, it would have grown to $1 million, $48,000, which is a difference of $58,000, which is a nice chunk of change. And here are the different age ranges on how we like to set up the IUL accounts. People between the ages of 22 and 55, we do more on the level pay scenario. 45 to age 70, we like to show 5-pay scenarios. Same with 60 to 70. And when it says single or joint life, this is where if you have a husband and a wife and say the husband's uninsurable, there's different joint IUL products that we have that would allow him to be on that policy with his wife if his wife is insurable. So it gives them opportunity to save in that account as well. And then 70 to 75, again, the same joint life accumulation. Now let's take a look at some examples here. So assumptions for Walter. Say Walter is a 60-year-old. He has $1 million in his IRA, which won't be used for income, and he's in the 25% tax bracket. And the assumptions here that we're going to be using is that, say he's in the 25% tax bracket, his IRA will grow at 5% annually. Now, when Walter reaches 70 and a half, he's going to have to start taking his RMDs, which is the required minimum distributions. And he's going to have to pay some taxes on those. So Walter will not use the money for income, and he will reallocate it to another financial vehicle earning 5% a year pre-tax. And that, again, will be subject to tax. So using those assumptions, here are the potential taxes that Walter will have to pay. So and this is receiving RMDs starting at that 70 and a half and taking it all the way to age 90, and this is per the IRS rules. So the total taxes paid on the RMDs at the time of withdrawal is $479,000 he would have to pay in taxes. Now, since he's reallocating that cash, since he doesn't necessarily need it at this time, once he reallocates it, it's going to be taxed again for $181,000. Then again, when he passes away, he's going to have money saved in his 401k. At that time, that money that's in there, his heirs are going to have to pay taxes on that, which is again going to be an additional $311,000. So off of that initial $1 million that was growing at 5%, when it's all said and done, he's going to be paying $972,000 in taxes on that $1 million. So now, granted, it would have grown to about $4.5 million, but paying close to $1 million in taxes isn't nothing to mess with. So now, if we show an example of if we were to say take $500,000 of Walter's IRA and if we rolled it into an IUL policy, how would it compare? So with these reports that we can use, we have on the left-hand side, you can see if there was that $500,000 still in the IRA, how it would perform. So at age 70, there's going to be about $685,000 of cash in there. And if we did a lifetime disbursements from age 70 to age 100, he would have an annual income of $26,120 that he'd get every year from age 70 to age 100. Now on the IUL side there, since we're using 375, this is again assuming that Walter was in the 25% tax bracket. He took $500,000 out of his IRA, so he has to pay 25% of that, which would be $125,000 in taxes right off the bat. But what's nice about that is that after he pays that $125,000 in taxes, that's all he's going to have to pay for the rest of this policy. Since it's going into this IUL and it's tax-free, you'll see that the cash value is a little bit lower than the IRA, but with it growing each year, the potential annual income that you can have is $36,097 that he would have a year from ages 70 to 100. So that just goes to show you that with even putting in $125,000 less, he's still in the long run, he's going to be making $487,000 additional income generated by just taking that money and putting it into the IUL. Now again, the IUL it's calculating the death benefit in this as well, but when you think about it, when Walter were to pass away, that money will then go to his heirs tax-free, where again, if it's in a qualified account, it goes to his heirs, but then they're going to have to pay taxes on it and figure out how to come up with that money. So this, to me, is a no-brainer in this scenario to kind of use the money and put it into an IUL. So now if we look at, so that Walter was 60-year-olds, but now let's look at somebody that's around 40 years old. So we have Homer here, and say he's putting in $16,000 a year into his 401k, and again at a 25% tax bracket. So with this this diversification, if we took the $16,000 that he was putting into his 401k, and say we, instead of putting it into the 401k, we rolled it into an IUL. So since it's going in without paying taxes first time for the $16,000, with the IUL, we have to pay the taxes on it first before we put it into the IUL, so then all the additional accumulation is all tax-free. So 25% tax bracket, that's $4,000 he'd be paying in taxes. So with that being said, we put $12,000 tax-free into the IUL. So this is so again, we'll see how this compares with paying $16,000 into the IRA to paying $12,000 into the IUL. So on the left-hand side, again, is the qualified account. And now this is paying from age 40, Homer was 40, and this is paying to age 65. And then we're stopping premiums and then getting income out until age 100. So from 65 to age 100. So on the left-hand side, he's putting in $400,000. There's the account value of close to $800,000, and his income stream that he would generate would be $32,130. Now, the very same scenario, but all tax-free with the IUL, he's putting in $12,000 where he's already paid his taxes. Cash value is just shy of $600,000, but the potential annual income is $54,240. So right there, that's giving him an additional $830,000 of additional income. So this is a program that those little reports that you saw, we're partnered with a company, Stonewood Financial, that gives us access to a bunch of these turnkey marketing programs. They have client meeting resources. They already have PowerPoints designed to kind of just speak with those baby boomer scenarios, like the Walter scenarios, or they have PowerPoints already generated for the today's savers. So like the Homers, the 40-year-olds of the world, the people that are currently saving into a 401k. So we have access to all of those that you are more than welcome to reach out to us, and I can give you access to, or if you have some clients that you're dealing with now that you think this would be a good fit, I'd be more than happy to kind of run those reports just so you can sit down and put those 2 or 3 page reports in front of them rather than a 30-page IUL that can kind of get a little overwhelming to people that aren't in the business and understand it. So just a few housewarming things here. We have a quick start bonus that we have right now. It's for any new and returning agents. You get $25 per case, annual premium between $600 and $999, $100 per case from $1,000 to $1 shy of $2,500, and $250 per case for $25,000 or more. And now the new agents are anybody that has not written a life case with URL in the last 24 months, or just anybody that's never written with us before. And the bonus is paid for business written in your first 90 days. And then please keep in mind our Orion program that we have. If you refer a client to us and receive split commissions with as little or as much work as you want to do. So it's a great opportunity where if you don't feel comfortable selling DI, long-term care, life insurance, Medicare, you can reach out to us to kind of sit down with your client and sell those products for you, so they're still in tight with you. And again, I want to thank you guys for your time. This is Joey Fry. Again, I'm in the life markets. I also do disability income and long-term care. So if you have any questions, or if you need me to look at anything for you, I'd be happy to do so. And I hope you enjoyed our presentation. Have a good one. Boom.